hats off to you. Cause
hats off for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
All right, I think we got Tommy back in the house. Little technical flavors. How you
yeah,
doing, Tommy?
yeah, we got him now. Got mouse clicking.
All right, can you
Yes,
All
get me
sir.
right.
now?
Tuning into Tokyo.
Yeah,
We got you, bro.
Sometimes my
yeah,
connection, I have to reset my connections.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
no
Well,
worries.
hey, at least you knew what to do.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't have known what to do. I'd have been on here going, I can't figure it out.
Dude,
I
well,
I had fun last night and decided to come back on in the morning.
Awesome, man.
nice.
Well, we
Excellent.
wanted you to be on with us in the morning anyway, because, man, I got to always say it. You was one of my first, like, true blue subscribers that I didn't have really. My wife, my kid, my best friend. I mean, they would have subscribed to me if you know what I'm saying. So it
Mhm.
was like it was just really cool, and I always want to help. I always want to help get other fellow creators pushed out. But I would like to start this morning off with saying, Tommy, the floor is yours. We would like for you to share all about what Tommy Kenyon and what you're doing on your side of things, and we're going to give you the floor and let you have at it.
Yes, sir.
I started out like working, just doing the regular thing, like part time at Kroger, going to college. I went to college for mass communication broadcast. I studied it all, and then right out of college, I jumped right into the digital web video. So 2010, I was doing all this since then, 15 years plus. Still pretty much going, looking for the next big thing coming up now, whether it's helping people edit their stuff or helping or consulting or whatever it looks like.
Well, I'd say
Um,
there's a market for that, man, because I'm telling you, dude, like there's a lot of what I've noticed is a lot of like I don't want to say older, but I'm older now, right? So like, over 40 and a lot of people getting into it that like have a lot of great stuff that they want to say, they want to do. But like the issues like even with man, like I got when I got off the like when we were on the night and you're like, yeah, just go to the like you have to go in this way and you load it that way. You shouldn't have to do anything else. So like
mhm.
I literally that still took me about 2 hours to like, figure it out. But I knew the process, right? So like I'm like he said, do this. And then once I found my way through it, boom, I had it. So now I can, I'm running off all of the way I wanted to run off, right? So which is nice because when on the phone it was just like I couldn't really see anything, I couldn't do anything, not in this format. So
Mhm.
and you're very good at it. I find you're very calm. You stay very composed. Like it's a great skill set to have because the other side of it is thrown out the window. You know what I mean? So yeah,
It's 15 years, dude, but I can't push it enough. Like what stuff that helped me and my growth. Moving, I used to say in 2016 when I came up here for this job, which I'm in like a job change now, but I 2015, 2016, December 2015, January 2016, so I get confused with the year.
no
I
problem.
said I moved to a city I hated, and I discovered if I can be happy here, I can be happy anywhere. So
Yeah,
that started my growth in 2016. I found Lewis Howes. It's a school of greatness. I can't push him enough. I can't push Toastmasters enough because I went there for the communication. I get confidence,
yes,
and
sir.
that's all. That is what leads to me being able to be calm, stay, and remain calm.
Well, that's really cool, man. That's very cool. So right now are you still doing like the podcast full time, like on a regular?
It's fun. I'm trying. I would like to like get into start monetizing that now. I've been doing it for fun, and I haven't found one thing I hate about podcasting. So I love
I agree.
podcasting. I love video. I love content creation. I haven't
Yeah.
found one thing I do. It passes the time, makes time go quickly,
Yeah,
essentially.
well, yeah, man. Yeah, it kind of like, it breathed life back into life for me getting to be able to do this. You know what I mean? Because like
Mhm.
when yeah, it gives, responsibility or whatever you want to call it, consistency, it changes how,
Hold you accountable, man.
yes, sir. Yeah, that's the
When
word I was.
I'm creating, I found the flow's there, my mind calmness is there, and when I'm creating, when I'm down and I start creating, I feel better like within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool mind hack, I find, because we were kind of chatting about that the other day, and I find like it used to come from me just by playing, like, you know what I mean, or hearing a song on the radio. Like I could be in like the worst mood ever, and be like, "My
Hmm.
baby got back, my baby got back," you know what I mean, whatever it comes on,
And I
and
love this stuff. StreamYard,
yeah,
just going
man,
live too. Even just going live for just shooting the shit and everything.
Yeah.
yeah,
I love StreamYard. I love going live.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, yeah,
Yeah. I
it re-
found a love in this whole content creation thing. I'm 47 years old, and I've never really given myself an opportunity to really do new. Everything was either focused around guitar or songwriting or dope or drugs or alcohol or just being a dad or whatever. And this has been the one thing that I found that I can leave and not really go anywhere and
Hmm.
do this. And I get to not only push things that I feel strongly about, but I also get to have fun. I get to interact with other people. I get to laugh. Me and Sean have plans coming up about having funny skits that we do for commercials in between, and just stuff that me and him not. It's we're not. What I'm trying to say is I have enough material personally as a songwriter and as a guitar player. I could fill an entire page up with
mhm,
nothing but music. But
mhm,
then that boxes me in to I do nothing but music. And the truth is, I've done music my whole life in some form or fashion. I've sang, I've played, whatever, and that's cool. But I wanted something different, but still something that kept that core circle of like, okay, I get to share my music, I get to share my humor, I get to share my experiences, I get to bring other people in, and me and Sean finding a way to be able to split duties and be able to be a team at it, because I see a lot of folks on here talking about networking, and
mhm,
networking is important, but I don't see a lot of people giving in to the platform and saying, okay, well, I really don't need the spotlight. I want a partner that I can bounce off of and I can create something a little bit fresh and a little bit different. It's okay to be single, and I say push up to anybody that wants to do that. But for us, it was like, well, I see an opportunity that we can go and do this together, push each other up and push others up, and maybe bring something just a little bit
yep,
more, because me and Sean are natural showmen. We've been on stages, we've been acting in front of people our whole lives. So this gives
yep,
us a platform to do the same thing, but not have to go out to the bars, not have to go out to the nightclubs, not have to go. I mean, not saying there's anything wrong with that, but
no, no,
I'm 47, dude. I'm not
yeah,
trying to be
we've been there, done that, man.
it's like,
Like,
dude, I'm
you
not
know,
trying to do that, and I
no,
don't
no,
want to be stuck. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with singing in church. I love all that, but
hey,
I personally don't want to spend my time going and traveling to different church houses and singing. That's great, and if I can go sing at a couple here and there, I will. But I'm not wanting to spend every Sunday or every Wednesday or every whatever and go do that. Just I know that I don't want to do that, but
no,
I know that I want to do this. I
yes,
know that I like being able to come in here, me and Sean be able to talk behind the scenes, get things worked out, and then come on here and learn in front of everybody. But there's a benefit to it. Not only are we logging in hours, but we're teaching people by our mistakes. They can watch and they can say, okay, I heard what happened right there.
yeah,
I'll remember, mute my mic when I leave the stage, or bring my
Hmm.
volume down, or
mhm,
hey, don't try switching stuff in midstream, because God did that and it didn't work.
yeah,
It's
no,
like,
don't, yeah,
so it's like it works out. I know I get started, but it's such a for me, like, to get back to what you were saying, Tommy, it's just such a release to be able to come
oh,
on here and just have at it and talk about whatever you feel good about. If it's podcasting, talk about podcasting. If it's sports, talk about sports. If it's
yeah,
politics, then you talk about you can talk about anything you want on here. It's your platform. It's YouTube. It's
Yeah, yeah,
YouTube.
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
YouTube. But
yeah.
finding that way to combine forces for me, because I've said it often, I had a plan in my mind that I thought was the way it was going to work. And that's what I set out to do. And, when that didn't work out and that team, that partnership didn't come to fruition the way that I thought that it would, it hurt my feelings, but it inspired me. It was like, okay, no, I've took this step in faith. I didn't take this step in faith in that man or that person. I took this step in faith that God's got me and I'm going to figure this out. We're going to learn it and we're going to figure it out. And I'm going to find that other half that I'm needing to be able to bounce off of and laugh with and cut up with and make that other side come out. And I just kept moving forward. And then Sean and I started talking behind the scenes, not anything about doing it. It was just about, hey, how can we just network with each other? And then the next thing you know, it's about, well, man, what if we try just doing this together? What if we try, and then the next thing you know, the conversation's about, okay, well, look, man, we're going to try this platform. And we tried a platform, didn't work. We tried it and it was just something not feasible for what we wanted to do. It wasn't working out. So we kept pushing, run across StreamYard, and now here we are. And those are the beautiful moments where you look back in your life and you're like, man, that started with a message in a video about, hey man, appreciate your message, whatever, or however it was.
Yeah.
And then that turns into, hey, you want a message through Messenger or whatever it is, or whatever the app is. And then, hey, do you want to FaceTime? And then, hey, do you want to maybe possibly meet up one day? What a story to tell, right? I mean, it's like, the future holds the way that the geographic location works out. It's like, man, it's actually possible to make that connection eventually. Like, hey, man, we bring this whole thing in a big circle. Like, okay, it starts out as a message in a chat or in a video, and it turns out that we actually, man, we go ahead and tie that together and say, okay.
And it comes back to something that reminds me that Mac had said when she was up about, how people like sometimes are like, oh, the social connection. And honestly, like I was like that for a lot of years, man. Like I wanted nothing to do with the internet, nothing to do with Facebook. Like I was just, nope, don't need that. Running the phone was a difficult enough process, you know what I mean? But yeah, you can actually make it work. And I did a little bit of foreshadowing there, if you remember.
Yeah, man. Yeah, how'd you like that teaser?
Yeah, I did. You did that well. You did that well.
I've noticed with you, Tommy, that you're pretty well consistent with the. I mean, you're with the emails and the different platforms, and you've got a handle on all the different ways of reaching other ways of doing things that I personally I lack. I don't know. This is all I know. We stream to YouTube right now. Because truth of the matter is that was a challenge for me. And now I am trying to figure out how you set up emails and different avenues of working our material in. But I'd like for you to share your journey and how you've connected to other apps and other things and what and all else you've got going on that you share out all the time. I know you share all the time on stuff.
Well, the good news, and you mentioned about you're only doing the YouTube. The good news is if you're doing YouTube, you can do everywhere else to go, especially with StreamYard. StreamYard makes it easy.
Thank you for bringing this up, because I've seen, is it possible, Tommy, like how many platforms can you run off StreamYard? I seen a guy doing Insta, Twitch, and Facebook all at the same time. And he plays guitar, and I thought that was super cool. He obviously had 3 different devices because I could see him moving around.
Can you see?
7?
Last night I did a little live on YouTube.
Wow.
Plus 6 others. 7 I did because I have them all attached to my destinations. 7.
Wow.
Instagram gets a little weird, especially if you're maybe recommend Instagram by itself if you want to do vertical, because StreamYard has the option to make the vertical window as well. But if you're
Right.
doing the others, you're gonna show up in a small box on Instagram.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
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 And like Twitch, like I've heard about it quite a
I
bit.
haven't done Twitch yet.
Okay, that's what. All right,
I'm
next
on it. I
question.
just haven't connected to Twitch yet.
Okay, cool,
Do
cool.
you share to X and all that kind of stuff too
Yeah.
as well? Okay, so
X is what was one of the destinations. If you go to my Tommy Kenyon 7 at X, you'd
Okay.
see my video that live that I did last night there. You'd see it on
Oh,
YouTube.
no
You'd
way.
see it
I
in
didn't
my
know you could do
Facebook
that.
group. You'd see it on, well, you wouldn't see it on Instagram now unless I shared it, because you can share lives after the fact. But I didn't
Okay.
share it.
Ooh.
It was only live for the moment on Instagram.
Oh man, that's cool. I did not know that you could share.
But I want to
like that.
shout out, like, I knew what was going on last night when you were having all the issues that I was helping you out with, but you helped me realize with Zoom, with StreamYard, you
Mhm.
want to take off all those features like echo, remove
had to,
background noise, remove any type, because it's extra processing in the computer,
Yep.
and it's good and sometimes, but it cuts out a lot of things, and
Oh.
that's a lot of if you remove the digital. I don't want to say those are effects, but if you remove those digital enhancements,
Yeah,
they call it enhancements, but
but they're not.
most of the time
So are you telling me I
they
should
cut
go to
stuff
my,
out.
I should go to my settings then and remove the echolocation?
The only thing you should have is stereo.
Yep, that's right. I figured that out, Tommy, actually, because
I have that now, and how do I sound now?
you
Sound
sound you
But
sound
you
good.
you
You
can
said
hear everything else going on around my room if it happens, like my dog drinking water,
yeah, that's the
if I get text messages. But like
How do I sound now?
it's everything. You're bringing everything to the stream now. It's not getting cut out.
okay. Gotcha. You
do I
sound good.
sound, do I
You-
sound all right now?
You sound good, guy.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, Tommy, when you said
Okay.
the key word that jogged my mind was permissions, and when I went in there,
Oh yeah, in the browser and
yeah,
browser permissions.
and Zoom was all on, so it wouldn't allow me to. I had to shut all that down, and then anyway, I got through it, man. And I was up to 5 in the morning figuring it out, but that was good for you. Thank you, thank. I'm seriously, I really mean it. It's like for 2 weeks, I'm like, man, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind that I have all this gear sitting here that I can't. You know what I mean? I can't use. But yeah, no more Zoom. Zoom's kaboom.
Yeah, Zoom.
But the greatest thing is what I have. I showed it last night. If you look on that stream last night, the Behringer switcher. It's a digital switcher. It's 4 XLR inputs, and
That's
then you have
what I-
others. You can have like 6 or 7 total as well,
Yep.
and you can take in all your devices and then convert them into this digital and mix them all digitally into StreamYard.
What you can't see, like what I use is a Focusrite 2112, and it's
Mhm.
the same thing, right? So it's a
Yeah,
XL. I've got XLR, and I can do 1/4 inch in. So like that's now I'm running through my Rode MK11. You know what I mean? So I got a clean sound. I can hear it in my ears, which I love because you got monitor control. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really rad, man. Yeah. No, I was like, thank you so much, Tommy. Like, that was such a huge relief. Yeah.
But I'm actually, like, anyone on here interested in starting podcasts. I want to like do I've been doing the solo host, but I would like to have a partner in podcasting, and let's do this thing. Let's talk about film and tech or story time or something like that. I would love like a partner in crime,
Yes.
if you will.
I feel you. It definitely helps.
Oh
With-
man.
You
It
know,
lightens the load, you know what I mean? Like I can fire a couple tracks off, I can make a promo for the show and like send that out and send it to Guy, you know what I mean? And then like, yeah, dude, just having that ability to do that. Plus, it still gives you time, like for me, like to keep pace with my page as well, and like guy to keep pace with his page. So it's a nice split, and you can kind of control it as you like. Yeah, I would like I always go back to what it was like playing. Like playing on stage by yourself is never that much fun, honestly. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
having somebody there. It's just you never know. You never know what's going to come out of a conversation, right?
Yeah. Yep. Indeed, man.
Yeah, I just
Indeed.
shared. That's my site where everything you can see everything that I'm
Yes.
where
So
I'm
this
at.
is an opportunity, guys. This is what we're here doing. This is what we're talking about, like networking.
Reach
This,
out.
if this is something you've thought about doing, reach out to the man. He's giving you a call. And like one thing I realized is you got to pick up the phone to take the call, right?
Yeah.
I
So
heard
That's
that the other day. Pick up the phone, answer the call.
that's right. That's
I'm
right.
yeah,
answering the call.
And I agree. I
yeah,
agree 100% with that. And I like your style. Throw it out there and
yes,
see
sir.
what happens. The reason why fishing is called fishing and not catching is because you don't never know. You just got
Hmm.
to throw it out there and see what happens. And
See what sticks,
that's
Yes,
exactly
yes,
right.
or see what
And
grabs,
that's
whatever way you want to look at it.
yep.
indeed,
Haul that
indeed.
bastard
And
out.
I got a
See what
feeling
bites you get.
I
Yep.
got a feeling that you're going to find someone that's going to want to, team up like that because there's something to having that feedback with one another. That there's a special thing that happens
Oh
when you
yeah,
find someone to work with like
Hmm.
that.
play off one another.
Hmm.
Indeed,
Yes,
indeed.
sir.
Because you might be thinking something and start talking and forget about it, but the person you're with will be like, "I know he wanted to mention this, or I know he would have wanted to bring this up," and be able to iterate
Hmm.
on what you were saying and just for like I said, I can't say it enough. I respect what everybody does. I support those of many that do all different
Like
types of things.
I was when Miss Mac when I was listening to that. I was like, preach,
Yeah,
preach. I was
yeah,
like in. I was listening to him, and
Amen.
yeah.
Amen to that, man. Yeah.
Because that's exactly what I've been hearing, and I experience it myself.
yes, yes, yes. Trauma comes in all forms and fashions, guys, and
Mm.
it takes those of us who's been through some crap to be willing to say, okay, I'll pull the veil back. I'm gonna let y'all see my vulnerability. I'm gonna let y'all see me click out on tech stuff that I don't know because that's what happens in the ADHD world. I'm
Yes,
gonna
sir.
I'm gonna let y'all see what it looks
Yeah.
like for somebody who tries really hard to not let stress get them, but have to deal with it. I have to deal with it. And that's my way of saying, hey, I'm pulling the veil back, guys. I'm letting you see just exactly what happens
Yep.
because it's the best way to share. Like, hey, guys, you just get through it. Nobody's gonna eat you. Nobody, the
No, no,
shine
no.
cannot jump out of the screen and get me.
Although
Tommy can't
sometimes
jump
I'd
out and
love
get me.
to.
It's like you reach that comfort level. For me,
Yeah,
the more I hit record or the more I hit go live, the easier it gets for me, man. It's
yeah,
like
And
dude.
you learn something new each time.
every single
Absolutely,
time.
Tommy.
Every
And like going back to that, trauma or abuse, like I was, abuse is a five-letter word and it goes both ways. You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff that like I personally, because I operated a men's group for about 3.5 years, right? So it would be like guys coming in dealing with it could be anything. It could be, addiction, it could be a mental health issue, it could be whatever. But like that bone or like that, like you'd feel the room change. Like I remember the first time I heard any like size don't matter, man. Like you know what I mean? This big man, this big strapping man was getting whooped every night by his
Hmm.
partner. You know what I mean? And like he just broke down in the middle of this conversation. And then it took him doing that. As soon as he did that, then like three, four more guys in the group realized. And then that's what I said. I'm like, guys, like, I think of it like this, okay? If I were to do that in the reverse fashion, let's say, you know how fast I'd be put in prison? So why do you think it's okay for this to happen to you, right? But it's a process to get through because usually it started, when you're knee high to a grasshopper, right? Like you kind of maybe started at home. I don't know, kind of that's a bit of my story was it started young, you know what I mean, like just the calling down all the time and here's the bar, and then you meet the bar, and then the bar gets raised, and then you're still nothing, right? Like, and you'll believe this eventually if you let it go on long enough. So, and then later in life, that ended up making me think that the most important thing in the world was money. And if you didn't have money, you weren't nothing. You know what I mean? You need to have a big job. So I went and got a big job. And then I got hurt doing that big job. And then I ended up, da 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 da. So it really is a cycle. And, anybody who speaks on it, I really encourage them to do so, because you got to get it out, man. Talking about it it's hard to start, but once you do, it's a weight off you for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I came up saying in that 2016, going back to school, greatness times, and enjoy the journey, trust and love the process.
I agree, man. I like that. And it ain't about the destination, it's the journey, man. And it took a minute to figure out that, hey, the journey's worth continuing, because you eventually, I do believe that, if you want it, you're gonna go get it. That's always been my philosophy. You know what I mean? If you want it, you're gonna go get it. And yeah, you're gonna go through some trials and tribulations. Absolutely, you will. I will guarantee you that. And you're not gonna know when they're coming. Most of the time, it's probably when you feel like you finally got her right where you want her, and then whoop, there go the legs out from underneath you.
Indeed.
Get humbled, man. You know what I mean? And then you gotta get back up.
Because you can get into comfort, and then that's where growth stops. But you'll get humbled again, and growth will continue there. So have something that you're aiming for. Like I'm looking to reach 1 million people on helping them with tech, getting their stories on tech. Have something scary that you're aiming for your whole life. It's not something that you can get to in the next 30 days.
Right.
Long-term goals, man.
On North Star.
Yep. I like that, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. We got 7 people here. We got Caribbean Girl Tony. We got MCK Paranormal Files. We got special guest Tommy Kenyon. All about podcasting, keeping it real TV. Got my sister Melissa Bandy, Miss Mac. Wow, an inspiration. And our prayers always. Love missing my mommy. Let's see. We got Brother William, surviving together. Thanks everybody for being here. This is Tommy Kenyon, all about keeping it real, keeping it podcasting, and we're shouting him out today and pushing him up because we see his consistency and we see that he ain't going nowhere. He's going to be here. He's on all different types of platforms, knows all different types of stuff about all of it. So I encourage everyone out there. I got his stuff. Let's see, I did have it. I thought I had myself.
I think the term is content creator, but I think I like multimedia creator better.
Well, you definitely are, man. And in case any of y'all missed this and you're listening to it on just straight up podcast, Tommy did throw it out there. If this is something that you're interested in doing, creating content, his information's all available here, and reach out and talk. That's it, man. That's how this started.
Even if you don't make I can promise you this, whether me and Sean was doing this together right now or not, we would still be calling each other on a personal level, and we would still be reaching out and talking to each other. So it was a win to reach out to each other and to put that extension out there, regardless of whether it worked out that we wanted to do something together like this or not, because it was just worth it in my personal opinion. But I'm gonna bring in I'm gonna share. Tommy, is there anything else that you would like to share with us? Because I'm gonna bring us into a song and go get another cup of coffee. And I do have to be kind of on schedule today because I have some things that I have to do. We got a couple minutes to vary, but not. We usually run way over, and it's coming up. On noon, so
we got a storm heading this way, so I gotta hunker down.
I got a few things. I got a truck. I got a truck that won't make it up the hill because it won't go on full. It was stuck in 4-wheel drive. Now it won't go on 4-wheel drive. So that kind of puts me in a position where now I have to do something.
Yeah, man.
Now I got to do something. So,
but Tommy, absolutely, man. Thank you for everything. And anytime, dude. Like I just love it when we have somebody up here because it gives us a chance to riff off each other and people to see who we are, man. So anytime you you want to pop in, like I always says, pop on in, man.
Absolutely.
It's always always a
Yeah.
pleasure, man. You're super helpful.
Thanks for having me on in this form. We were teaching in the teaching mode last night, but something you said that you listed all the things that coping things you mentioned, Guy. But one thing I heard in there, streaming one, and then two is a dad. Those two are very great things
Okay.
to have a family and
Yes.
then
Yes,
also
sir.
have a legacy too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's
Indeed.
it.
I like that. I like that, Tommy. Well, look, as I say to everybody that comes on, or I will say to most everybody, depending on
Yeah.
what kind of person they are, but when I push them up and I support them, I say to you always, here at Guy and Shine, anytime you want to come on and have a few minutes to just share something you got going on, if you leave me a comment or Shine a comment the day before or even the day of, and say, hey, I just need a couple minutes, I want to shout this out, just know that you are part of the family, you're part of the crew, and all you got to do is reach out and we'll make it available for you.
It feels like love just feel like it's a radio show.
Yeah. Hey,
that's
welcome to the show, baby. Welcome to the
what we
show.
want, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Because our ultimate goal, just so you know, I mean, Tommy, we're realizing that now these things that we create, as we get better at it and we get more honed in, it's a push of a button away to create podcasts right out of this.
Oh yeah.
So,
Mhm.
in the very near future, once we've worked kinks out, and
it's free, like YouTube, Spotify is free.
Yes, it is. Yep.
We're just taking this
Yep.
time here on YouTube to learn and to get our little kinks worked out. And then once we got the kinks worked out, it's a push of a button away to go ahead and hit
off she goes.
podcast.
And that's a cool tip for any of y'all that are just like getting your feet muddied up in the water or whatever. Take advantage of that section that says podcast on your YouTube channel, because that pushes you out to YouTube Music, and like they run numbers pretty good, man. Like I got 4
As a playlist, under playlists.
Yep.
Tag your stuff with, especially if it's podcast. Tag it to the podcast tab.
Thank you for reminding me of that, because I know that's something I got to work on. And actually, I'd like to talk to you more about that. So I see your information now.
I can come back on another day.
Yeah, I'm gonna come by and see you too, man, because I try after, well, today's gonna be a tight one, but I try to get, when the storm hits, I'll probably be just going through and seeing people. So
I'll go finish my breakfast and go do some walking and stuff. And
all right, man.
Well, you have a
shout
great
out
day,
to
man. Be safe. Thank you so much, brother.
Much love to you, Tommy. Appreciate you, brother. Tommy Kenyon, Keeping
Yes,
It
sir.
Real TV. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you.
Excellent, man.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Hey, man. He's been
Dude,
right on time.